Hi, I'm Matt Sadinsky, founder and CEO of PReP International. PReP stands for Pre-Qualified Ready Employees for Power. And today I want to tell you about what I did on my 50th birthday. My wife said, "What do you want to do on your 50th birthday, honey?" And I said, "Guess what? I want to turn the lights out in San Francisco." She said, "Seriously, what do you want to do?" I said, "That's seriously what I want to do. Now, after I do that, we can meet in Las Vegas maybe and have a nice weekend, but that's what I want to do. I've been working on it for years." In 2004 and 2005, I started working with the good folks at Central Maine Power and ICE in New England, and we actually, where each of those dots are, ran a black start simulation drill for ICE in New England. And we invited Lori Jones from PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, to come and watch it. And she went back to her board and said, if that's what they're doing in Boston, we ought to be doing the same thing in San Francisco. So what we did in the Northern California area and in the Bay Area, we involved all of the operators from the Pacific Northwest down to Northern California in a power systems drill. And what Lori shared with us was that this was not only important for improving reliability and training, but it also helped make a significant change in the way they onboarded the next generation of system operators. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So on November 14th, 2007, about 100 men and women whose job it is to keep the lights on in Northern California in the Pacific Gas and Electric area met in a room and they practiced their restoration drill. In typical California style, they created an event that collapsed the whole power grid. Bruce Henry explained that aliens were sighted off of the Pacific Bay Area. It created delays in all of the transportation system. Fires broke out, earthquakes happened, and these aliens, they found out, were not vicious, they were just lost. But their magnetos so affected the power grid that everything collapsed. And now your mission, operators, is to put it back together. And this is the highlight of training. Look at this transmission tower just doing jump rope. And cow abductions were sighted. So in typical California style, they created this event. Over the next 8 hours, line by line, Lori Jones overseeing the event, generator by generator, load by load, these operators brought back the power grid. By the end of the day, there was a celebration that they had put it back together. And what Lori shared with me afterwards is that it's not just that they succeeded in proving that their system operation drill worked, or that they succeeded in communicating across control areas. Those were very important. But what she shared with me afterwards was that there was a breakthrough in the way system operators work together. The entire drill was deemed a success, but what she shared with me is that there was an organizational breakthrough bridging the generational divide. 90% of the men and women who work in system operation roles, like the ones you just saw in the video, got to their jobs after 15 to 20 years in generation or distribution. But that's changing now. 50% of all new hires are coming from outside. That's become the best practice. And what many hiring managers share with us is that they've got this issue with the digital divide. They got old guys who know a lot of things and the young men and women coming in from the Navy and coming in from college, and they haven't been able to talk. Well, what happened in the course of that one day working together is that they broke down that digital divide. And what we call this, and what we do at PReP International, is build a knowledge transfer sandwich. If you can take a guy or a professional that's getting ready to retire and one of our PReP mentors who may have retired 2 to 3 years ago and put a young Navy nuke or college or technical grad in between them, you can actually speed the ability of excellence and competence and capabilities and confidence in getting the job done. That's what you saw here and what Lori shared with me was going on. Some of the young men and women had never really operated a full power system. Certainly they hadn't been part of a system-wide breakdown. And what the old operators asked the young men to do is, as they were restarting their generators and doing line loading, which were just droop settings, and if you could have seen the look in some of their faces, they looked like deer in the headlights. They had never ever adjusted a droop setting on a generator. But that's what they needed to do when they were starting from scratch. So the old pros told them, don't worry, I'll teach that to you when the time is right. And as they got back to the computer and started playing around with the simulator, they had some technical problems. And they might have asked that young new system operator to come over and show them something. And what happened, Lori said, is we probably broke down 6 to 9 months of old pros not talking to the young talent that were just hired, because they had spent the day together doing the system restoration. She said probably 3 to 6 months from now, both the old pros would start seeking out the young guys for help, and the young guys would start seeking out the old guys for help on projects, and in effect broke down the digital divide. So that's what we do at PReP, and if you are a hiring manager looking for either seasoned mentors or for new talent, or if you're a young college grad or just getting out of the service veteran who've got skills and are interested in a job like this, keeping the lights on, let us know, because who knows what the next contingency might bring.